Hi, I'm John Rivers, and today I'm going to show you how to make baby back ribs easy in the oven. Let me start off by explaining what a baby back rib is versus a spare rib. People think that it comes from a different part of the pig, or it's even a smaller pig that's actually made or processed. It's not. It comes off the same rib as from the spare rib itself. And if you can imagine, this is the top part of the rib cage, which goes underneath all the way through the belly of the pig itself, and all these ribs are done. This is a spare rib, which you can see is just a huge big piece, and this is the baby back, which is the top portion of the rib cage from the pig itself that's cut. It's nice and big and meaty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these baby back ribs, and like I said, we're going to go ahead and cook them in the oven itself. Okay. So I take a pan, and I like to line it with aluminum foil. That makes it a lot easier when it's cooking in there that long. You don't want things to stick when you try to take it out. So we're starting off with a big thick cut of a baby back rib itself, and what we want to do is go ahead and flavor it. Now we make a rub that has got a nice sweet flavor to it, but with just a little bit of kick. Now you got to be careful about a rub. You don't want to overpower it because you want to taste the pork and you want to taste all the flavors that are going to come out of however else that you flavor it, be it smoking it. You're going to get some nice wood flavor, but for us we're going to put it in the oven. So I'm going to put a nice rub on it itself, and I only put it on one side because I don't want it to be the dominant flavor when I taste this, and I just kind of pat it in there. You want to make sure that all the meat is covered all the way across, but again, not too thick. Now, I purposely don't put it on the back side of the rib itself because I don't want it to overpower it. There's two things you can do. You've got some skin membrane that's on the back of the rib itself, and if you want to, you can take that off, and there is a process to doing it. Or if you're at home and you're in a hurry, you can also just score the actual meat itself, because what you want to happen is that the flavor, be it the smoke or the heat, to be able to penetrate that membrane of skin that you have on the back and actually be able to get into the meat itself. So if you got the time to do it, go ahead and take the skin off. If you don't, it's perfectly fine. I don't put any rub on the back of my rib because I don't want to overpower it. That's good to go like that. Now, I'm not going to put it in a smoker, so it's not going to get that nice hickory flavor to it since we're doing this in the oven. So a way you can kind of cheat and do this at home is take just a little bit of liquid smoke and go ahead and just pour it inside of here, around your rib itself. And as it bakes, it's actually going to pick up a lot of the accented flavor from the hickory smoke, and it tastes like a smoked product. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the oven at about 325 degrees, uncovered, for about 45 minutes. And what that's going to do is going to give it a nice crust on the outside. Then after that, I'm going to take it out of the oven, I'm going to roll it up in my foil like this, and I'm going to put it back in the oven. I'm going to continue cooking it for about another hour, hour and a half. And what that's doing is finishing the product. But because I have it all wrapped up like this, it's going to keep everything nice and moist. And all that liquid smoke that I put in there, it's going to just evaporate and permeate around the rib itself, so that when you take it out, it's nice and moist and beautiful. All right, so I've got my baby back ribs that have been cooking in the oven for about a little over 2 hours now. They're all wrapped up, they're good and tight, and all that liquid smoke flavor has come out, and all the flavors from the rub have come into it. Now let's take a look at what it looks like when it's all finished. Take it out, it's nice and wrapped. And you can see, just got some beautiful coloring on here. Pull this out. Look how beautiful that is. See the wonderful color, and I still kept my thickness to it. And it's nice and moist, and it's hard to believe sometimes as this is actually cooked in the oven itself. So a couple things, you can go ahead and cut it and eat it like this. I like to put a little bit of sauce on it and then flash it on the grill on a real high heat, and all the sauce and the sugars in it caramelize it and gives you even more flavor. But you can get an idea of just how wonderful and nice and moist these ribs are. You see how that falls apart for you like that? And this was done in the oven itself. Take that out, it's falling apart. Put a little bit of sauce on the top of it, and you'll really enjoy this. And again, you don't have to have a big fancy smoker to do this at home. It's easy to do, nice and tender, and you pick up that wonderful smoke flavor from the liquid smoke itself, and all of your guests and fans will really like this. So thanks again for joining me today. I'm John Rivers from Fort River Smokehouse, and happy smoking.